Welcome to the woods. Snowing. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but it's a proper winter wonderland up here, and it looks beautiful. It's a bit cold. There's downsides to it. You don't get any solar power when they're covered in 3 inches of frozen snow. But I've been up, not on the roof, but round the back, and scraped some of it off this morning. Repaired a shed roof, which partly collapsed. I knew that was going to happen. It's just a little lean-to thing, but life goes on. And I wanted to have a little talk today about something that cropped up in a tiny little part of the internet, a disagreement, and I found the subject quite interesting. And it was an argument about online discourse, online activism, as opposed to real life activism. And I suppose in some way you could say that these little videos that I do are activism of a sort. I'm trying to pass on information, sometimes trying to change people's minds. And the argument obviously had 2 sides. One side saying that online debates, online activism was fairly pointless, and that what was needed was real life activism, real life discourse, get out and speak to real people. And the other side of the argument was that actually the internet and online debate, conversations were very important, and more so than stuff that can be done in real life. And the reason I found it interesting is because the way I live out here, off-grid, in the middle of the woods, I know most of you understand that, most of you already know that. But if you're new here, and there are new subscribers coming on, I bought about 2 acres of woodland, felled a few trees, built a 4-bedroom cabin for me and my family, and I live here off-grid. I've got solar, which powers the electric, a huge wood burner, plenty of wood. I also use LPG to run a central heating system and the hot water, and it's generally a lovely way of living. We keep a lot of chickens, turkeys, ducks. We grow some of our own food. We're by no means 100% self-sufficient, but we're looking to increase that year on year. And I built the cabin myself. Now, I'd never built anything before, and I learnt how to do that by watching informative videos online. And I learnt how to plumb it, how to plumb all the water system, and build a water system, a rain collection system, a filtration system, and all of that information I got online. So for me, the internet was invaluable. The information I needed was available to me, and available to me at any time I wanted to see it. I didn't have to make an appointment to see a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter. I could literally search for what I wanted and view that information. So the online world was important. I learnt new skills. Now, what is important after that is that I actually then went and put those skills that I'd learnt online into practice in real life. So it would have been pointless for me to sit and watch a video or a series of videos about how to build a cabin, how to build a plumbing system, and then do nothing with it. And the argument that's been going on online, I think, is a little confused. I think really what it comes down to is understanding that both in real life action and online activism are both equally as important. If I wanted to explain to people the benefits of living off-grid, I could go and stand on a street corner and start talking to the general public. And one or two of the people that pass during that time I'm talking may be interested. But I'm going to guess that the audience would be relatively small. Whereas if I produce a video and put it online, the likelihood is that even with a very small channel like this, within a couple of weeks, that information would have been viewed and listened to by, let's say, 3,000 people. That's a lot of people. Out of that 3,000, some people will put what they've learned into practice in real life. So I'm going to say that getting information out to people is firstly much easier to do online. You will reach vastly more people online. But, and here's the but, whatever it is you're trying to get across, be that politics, be that a way of living, you must then be seen to be applying that to your own life. So if I'm going to stand on a street corner or make a video about living off-grid, the benefits it can give you, and sometimes the hardships, then I'd better be living off-grid. Otherwise it's all just hot air. So if you're promoting a certain subject, it doesn't really matter what it is. Use the internet to reach a large amount of people. Promote then putting those practices, apply them to your own life. So if I'm telling you that if you plant potatoes in a relatively short period of time, you're going to have free food. If you do nothing with that information, that's fine, but it won't benefit you. If, on the other hand, you plant some potatoes in a bucket and in a month's time you've got free potatoes, you've actually achieved something. So you're taking information which you've got from online sources and then applying it in real life. So I think the argument that's been going on is relatively pointless, because I think they've missed the point, both sides. The people that are saying that to use the internet or only using the internet isn't right, doesn't work, need to understand that It all depends on what you're trying to do. And if what you're trying to do is get information to a large amount of people, it's probably the easiest and most economical way of doing it. And for those people that just watch content or just make content, also need to understand that whatever they're watching or promoting needs to be applied to their own life in order for it to gain substance. Anyway, you lot, relatively short one. It was just a subject that I did find interesting, because I create content online. What I also try to do is to apply the stuff that I'm talking to you about to my own life. Not only that, but over the last couple of years, there's been numerous times I've been able to help other people achieve what I've achieved. People that have watched my content, thought that it's a good idea, and wanted assistance and help in moving forward to do it themselves. I think I've reached more people and been able to help more people because of my online content than I would have been able to if I had just stood on a street corner, tried to tell people. But as I said, it is important to then apply what you're telling people or what you're listening to apply it in real life to yourself. It's honest. Catch you soon, you lot. Have a good one.